The order is given. The veto is final. You are standing at the edge of collapse, or so it has felt. The walls closing in. The silence from heaven growing heavier with each unanswered prayer. You have asked why the door will not open. You have questioned whether God has forgotten your address, lost your file, moved on to someone more worthy. But you have misunderstood the silence. Silence is not rejection. Silence is the sound of assembly in the invisible. The wave does not announce itself while it gathers. It pulls back first, drawing water from depths you cannot see, accumulating force you cannot measure. And when it moves, it does not ask for permission. It does not negotiate with the shore. It smashes, completely, violently, irreversibly. The divine veto has just been issued against your financial struggle. Visualize it now. The chains of debt and delay are not loosening slowly around your ankles. They are shattering. You hear the crack of iron breaking under pressure it was never designed to withstand. You are not asking for the miracle wave. You are receiving the command. This is the authorized moment. God has activated the law to smash the barriers of poverty permanently. Your obedience to the laws we are about to cover is the trigger that forces the forced breakthrough from the spiritual realm into your physical reality. Do not mistake this for motivation. Do not file this away as another inspirational message you will forget by tomorrow morning. These are the divine mechanics of wealth that Napoleon Hill was ordered to codify after 20 years of studying the wealthiest, most powerful people on earth. He did not write Think and Grow Rich as a self-help book. He wrote it as a manual of law, divine law, the law that governs how infinite intelligence responds to human intention, the law that determines whether your prayers evaporate into hope or crystallize into gold. To harness this miracle wave, you must execute 3 commands of the law, not suggestions, not recommendations, commands. 1. The command of definiteness, the unbreakable target. This is what you demand. 2. The command of faith, the spiritual currency. This is how you pay for it. 3. The command of autosuggestion, forcing the bridge. This is how you smash internal resistance and reprogram the subconscious gateway to God. We will activate these commands in sequence, triggering the full forced breakthrough within 7 days. Stay until the end for the commandment verse, the final activation key that seals this divine contract. If you leave now, you break the circuit. If you stay, you complete the transaction. And within 1 week, you will begin to see the evidence that the miracle wave is no longer theoretical. It is tearing through the invisible and manifesting in your bank account, your opportunities, your relationships, and your peace. Let us begin with the first command, the command of definiteness. The unbreakable target. You have been praying for more. You have been asking for relief. You have been whispering into the dark, God, just send me a blessing. Just open a door. Just give me a break. And you have wondered why the blessing never comes, why the door stays locked, why the break turns into another fracture. The reason is not that God is withholding. The reason is that you have not given him a target. More is not a command. Relief is not a destination. Blessing is not a coordinate. Ambiguity is the enemy of God. The universe, which Hill called infinite intelligence, cannot deliver an imprecise order. A general does not walk onto the battlefield and request some victory. He defines the exact hill to be taken, the exact time to take it, the exact battalion to deploy, and the exact cost he is willing to pay. That precision is what turns intention into conquest. Vagueness is the language of wishful thinking. Precision is the language of power. And if you want the miracle wave to smash your specific poverty, you must give it a specific target to strike. Hill witnessed something profound during his research. He studied over 500 of the wealthiest, most influential people of his era, titans of industry, builders of empires, men and women who went from nothing to everything in a single generation, and every single one who broke through poverty into abundance had done one thing that separated them from everyone else. They burned the ships. They set an exact dollar amount. They chose a non-negotiable deadline, and they wrote it down where they could see it every single day. That focus, that precision, forced the hand of God. Not because God needed instructions, but because the human mind, when given absolute clarity, becomes a magnet for opportunity. The subconscious mind, which is the bridge between your conscious desire and divine provision, does not respond to vague wishes. It responds to definite commands. When you declare, "I will have $10,000 by December 15th, something happens in your nervous system. Your subconscious begins to scan reality for the path. It notices the opportunity you would have walked past. It generates the idea you would have dismissed as too risky. It connects you to the person you would have avoided because they seemed too important. Definiteness of purpose is not just goal setting. It is the targeting system that tells the miracle wave exactly where to crash in your life. Consider the man who prays, "God, bless my finances." That prayer dissolves into the atmosphere because it has no shape. But the man who prays, "God, I command $10,000 by the end of this month to cover my rent, my daughter's tuition, and to launch the business idea you gave me 3 years ago." That prayer has weight. It has coordinates. It pierces the invisible and lands on the desk of heaven with the authority of a decree. The difference is not in the volume of the prayer. It is in the precision of the demand. And demand is not arrogance when it is aligned with divine will. Jesus did not say, "Ask vaguely and maybe you will receive." He said, "Ask and it will be given. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened." But you cannot ask for nothing and expect something. You cannot seek without a direction and expect to arrive. You cannot knock on every door in the neighborhood and expect the right one to recognize you. Definiteness is the key that fits the lock. And the moment you turn it, the miracle wave is released. So here is your first command. You will define your exact figure, not a range, not a hope, not a dream amount that feels safe to whisper. An exact amount that makes your hands shake when you write it. You will assign a deadline, not someday, not when the economy improves, not when you feel more deserving, a specific date on the calendar that you will circle in red and stare at every morning when you wake up. This is your declaration. This is your creed. I command this exact amount by this exact date. It is divinely ordained. It is already done. You speak this not as a wish, but as a decree. You are not asking the universe to consider your request and get back to you. You are informing the universe of what has already been set in motion in the realm of decision. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. You are aligning your will with the will of the one who issued the veto against your poverty. And when your will and his will lock into agreement, the breakthrough is not just possible. It is forced. It becomes inevitable. No more asking, only declaring. Your specificity is the command. This definiteness of purpose is the targeting system that tells the miracle wave exactly where to strike, when to strike, and how hard to strike. The wave does not guess. It does not improvise. It moves according to instruction, and if you give it no instruction, it has no choice but to wait. It waits for someone else. Someone who understands that definiteness is divine precision. Someone who is willing to risk looking foolish by naming the exact amount they need when everyone around them says, "Just be grateful for whatever comes." Gratitude is beautiful, but it is not a strategy. Definiteness is the strategy. Gratitude is what you feel after the wave crashes and the poverty is washed away forever. But first, you must set the target. And here is the warning. If you ignore this command, if you remain vague, if you continue to pray generically for blessings and breakthroughs without naming the amount or the date, you nullify the smash order. The miracle wave will crash. Yes, it is already in motion, but it will crash upon someone else, someone who gave God a precise target, someone who understood that the universe rewards clarity and punishes ambiguity. You will watch from the shore as their life transforms, as their debt disappears, as their business explodes, as their peace returns, and you will wonder why it was not you. The answer will be simple. They set the target. You did not. Do not let that be your story. The target is now set. You have given the command. Write it down right now before you move forward. Write the exact amount. Write the exact date. Speak it aloud 3 times. Feel the fear rise in your chest. That fear is the sound of your old identity dying. Let it die. The new you does not beg. The new you commands. And now we move to the fuel. But before we go further, you need to prove something, not to me, to yourself, to the realm that is watching and waiting to see if you are serious, if you are truly here. If you are ready to smash your old fate and accept this divine veto, then you will do something simple but powerful. You will comment the word command. That single word seals the contract. It signals to the spiritual realm that you are not a passive listener. You are an active participant. You are taking ownership of the breakthrough that is already in motion. Go now. Pause this. Type command in the comments. And when you do, ask yourself this question: what is my exact target? What is the precise amount I am commanding? What is the non-negotiable deadline? Because until you can answer those questions with clarity, the wave has nowhere to land. It circles in the deep, waiting for your instruction. Give the instruction now. Now we move to the second command, the command of faith. This is the spiritual currency. You have set the target. You have declared the amount and the deadline. You have written it down. You have spoken it aloud. But inside you, there is still something fighting: doubt, fear. The voice that says this will not work for people like you. The voice that reminds you of every time you got your hopes up and they were crushed. The voice that whispers, "Who do you think you are to command anything from God?" This is not just negative thinking. It is not just pessimism. It is active sabotage, and it is costing you the very breakthrough you have been commanded to receive. Faith is not hope. Let that sink in. Let it disturb you. Faith is not wishing things turn out well. Faith is not crossing your fingers and waiting for luck. Faith is spiritual currency. It is the advance payment for the reality you have commanded. You do not wait for the money to show up in your account and then believe it works. You believe first, and the belief generates the money. This is the law Hill proved over and over again in his research. The emotion of faith physically alters the brain. Hill documented this. He watched it happen in real time. When a person holds a definite goal in their mind with absolute, unshakable faith that it will manifest, the subconscious mind goes to work immediately. It begins to orchestrate circumstances. It attracts people you have never met. It generates ideas that were not there yesterday. It opens doors that were bolted shut last week. The subconscious does not care if the goal is logical. It does not care if your bank account currently says 0. It only cares if the command is definite and the faith is present. Faith is the voltage that powers the circuit. Without it, you have a target but no propulsion. You have coordinates but no fuel. With it, the miracle wave moves with the force of inevitability. It becomes unstoppable. So the question is not whether you hope this works. The question is whether you are willing to act as if it has already worked. That is faith. Faith is action in advance of evidence. It is thanking God for the $10,000 before the bank confirms the deposit. It is walking into the room as someone who has already been delivered, not someone still begging for deliverance. Stop waiting for evidence. You must become the evidence. This is the command. You will act as if the breakthrough is already deposited. You will speak as if the veto is already enforced. You will move as if the miracle wave has already crashed and the poverty has already been dissolved. This is not pretending. This is not fake it till you make it nonsense. This is enforcing. You are enforcing the new reality before your senses confirm it, because your faith is the substance that brings it into form. Hebrews 11 verse 1 says, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Substance, evidence, not wishes, not fantasies. Substance. Your faith is the material that heaven uses to build your breakthrough in the physical world. If you withhold the faith, you withhold the material, and the construction stops. If you supply the faith consistently, relentlessly, emotionally, the construction accelerates until the moment it appears and everyone around you calls it a miracle. But you will know it was law. Your creed for this command is simple but devastating. I am the evidence. My faith is the substance. The wealth is already mine. You say this until your body believes it. You say this until your emotions align with it. You say this until doubt has no more room to whisper. You say it in the mirror every morning. You say it in the car on the way to a job you are about to quit. You say it when the bill comes and the account is empty. You say it especially when circumstances scream the opposite. Because faith is not agreement with circumstances. Faith is the veto of circumstances. Faith says, I do not care what the bank says. I do not care what the boss says. I do not care what the economy says. I have a higher authority, and that authority has issued a veto against my poverty. The old reality is canceled. The new reality is law, and I will act accordingly. Faith is a force. Faith is action. Faith is your veto. You must force your senses to obey this new reality before it arrives, or the miracle wave recedes. It pulls back. It waits for someone else whose faith is stronger, whose belief is unshaken, whose actions match their declaration. And here is the danger. If you entertain doubt for even 1 second, if you allow the old story to replay in your mind, if you rehearse the failure instead of the victory, you cancel the divine veto. You break the connection. You abort the forced breakthrough. This is not a game. This is not philosophy. This is a spiritual law, as real as gravity. Doubt repels, faith attracts, and the miracle wave moves only in the direction of those who have paid in advance with the currency of unwavering belief. So examine yourself right now. What is your faith level? Are you hoping this works, or are you acting as if it has already worked? Because there is a massive difference. Hope is passive. Hope sits on the couch and waits for someone else to change your life. Faith is violent. Faith storms the gates. Faith does not wait for permission. Faith takes the promise and declares it done. And if you are still hoping, you need to shift right now. You need to move from hope to faith, from wishing to commanding, from asking to receiving. The shift happens the moment you decide. The moment you say, I will no longer wait for proof. I am the proof. My faith is the advance payment. My belief is the substance. My breakthrough is inevitable. The target is set. The currency is faith. And now you seal it with the final activation. The target is locked. The currency is paid. You have declared the exact amount. You have set the non-negotiable deadline. You have activated faith as the substance that builds your breakthrough in the invisible. But there is one final barrier between you and the manifestation. It is not external. It is not the economy, the boss, or the timing. It is internal. It is the subconscious programming that has been running in the background of your mind for decades, quietly sabotaging every command you have ever issued. The miracle wave is forming. The force is building. But if the bridge between your conscious command and the divine response remains corrupted by old beliefs, the wave will crash and you will feel nothing. The third command is the one that seals the circuit, forces the bridge open, and guarantees the breakthrough lands in your reality within 7 days. This is the command of autosuggestion, and it is non-negotiable. The third command is the command of autosuggestion. This is forcing the bridge. Your target is set. Your faith is declared. You have named the exact amount. You have chosen the non-negotiable deadline. You have activated belief as the spiritual currency that pays for the breakthrough in advance. But deep inside, beneath the conscious declarations, beneath the prayers and the affirmations, there is still a program running, an old program, a poverty mindset that has been installed since childhood, fed by every rejection, every failure, every voice that told you people like you do not get to win. This program is not just a thought. It is not just negativity. It is a subconscious pattern, a code written into the control center of your nervous system. And if you do not reprogram it, it will sabotage everything. It will cancel the command. It will repel the wave. It will abort the breakthrough at the moment of delivery. Autosuggestion is the violent reprogramming of that bridge. The subconscious mind is the bridge between your conscious command and the divine response. It is the translator. It takes the desire you speak in the light and transmits it to infinite intelligence in the dark. But if the bridge is corrupted, if the wiring is crossed, if the program defaults to scarcity every time you try to upgrade to abundance, then nothing you declare in the conscious realm will manifest in the physical realm. Hill discovered something stunning during his 20 years of research. The subconscious mind has no defense against repeated, emotionally charged commands. It does not argue, it does not judge, it does not ask if you deserve it. It simply accepts whatever instruction is repeated with emotion and begins to execute that instruction as if it were divine law. This is the secret. This is the mechanism. This is how you force the bridge open and guarantee that the miracle wave crashes in your life within 7 days. You have been repeating the wrong commands your entire life. Every time you said, "I am broke," your subconscious accepted that as an instruction and began to create circumstances that matched it. Every time you said, "I am unlucky," your subconscious logged that as fact and began to filter out opportunities that contradicted it. Every time you said, "Nothing ever works for me," your subconscious treated that as a mission statement and went to work making sure nothing worked. You did not know you were programming yourself into poverty, but you were. And the program has been running for decades. It is why you work hard but stay broke. It is why doors open and then slam shut. It is why you get close to the breakthrough and then something inexplicable destroys it at the last second. That is not bad luck. That is subconscious sabotage. And it stops today. Autosuggestion is not wishing, it is not hoping, it is forcing. You are forcing new instructions into the control center of your mind, and you do this through repetition, through emotion, and through absolute consistency. Hill did not call this positive thinking. He called it the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. It is a medium, a vehicle, a weapon. You are using your voice, your emotions, and your focused attention to override the old program and install a new one. And the new program says this: I am wealthy, I am blessed, I am breaking through. My breakthrough is inevitable. My poverty is canceled. The miracle wave is crashing in my life right now. When you repeat this with emotion, when you feel it in your chest, when you say it until tears come, until your voice shakes, until your body believes it before your bank account confirms it, the subconscious has no choice but to accept it. And once it accepts it, everything changes. Your subconscious begins to guide you toward opportunities you would have missed. It generates ideas you would have dismissed. It connects you to people you would have avoided. It orchestrates circumstances that appear miraculous but are actually mechanical. Here is how you execute this command. You will smash the old beliefs. You will force new instructions. You will read your creed aloud every single day until you feel it, not until you think it, until you feel it, because emotion is the trigger. Repetition without emotion is just noise. It bounces off the surface of the subconscious and dissolves into nothing. But repetition with emotion is law. It penetrates. It rewrites the code. It reprograms the bridge. And once the subconscious accepts the new command, it has no choice but to execute it. It begins to move heaven and earth to manifest the reality you have declared. Your creed for this command is this: my voice is the voice of God. My subconscious accepts this truth. My breakthrough is inevitable. The miracle wave is commanded. The poverty is smashed. The wealth is already mine. Speak this aloud. Do not mumble it. Do not think it silently in your head where it has no power. Speak it with authority. Speak it as if you are issuing a decree to the entire universe. Speak it until your chest vibrates with it. Speak it until the doubt stops whispering. Speak it until you feel the shift, the moment when the subconscious surrenders and says, "Yes, I accept this as fact." That shift is the reprogramming taking hold. That is the moment the bridge is forced open. That is the moment the miracle wave is unleashed with full force, no longer hindered by internal sabotage, no longer blocked by old programming. Repetition is force. Emotion is the trigger. Your words are the law. This is how you command the miracle wave to form in the invisible and smash the shore of your physical reality. And here is the final warning for this command. If you fail to reprogram, if you allow the old script to keep running, if you skip this step because it feels awkward or embarrassing to speak declarations aloud, your subconscious will default to scarcity. It will default to delay. It will default to the same patterns that have kept you trapped for years. And you will watch the forced breakthrough manifest, but not for you, for the neighbor who did the work, for the coworker who took the command seriously, for the stranger who heard the same message and executed with precision. Do not let that be your story. You have been given the target. You have been given the currency. You have been given the reprogramming tool. Now you must use them. The bridge is forced. The wave is commanded. And now we address the one thing still holding you back. You are saying this in your mind right now. But I have tried affirmations before. I have repeated positive statements. I have written goals down, and nothing changed. The doubt always returns. What if this miracle wave is just another false hope? What if I do all of this and I am still broke in 7 days? What if God does not respond? What if I am the exception to the rule? These are not new questions. These are the echoes of your old self, and they are valid. You have been disappointed before. You have believed before and been crushed. So let me answer these objections with the authority of someone who has studied the law and seen it work thousands of times. First objection: I have tried affirmations and they did not work. The reason affirmations did not work is because you repeated words without emotion. You said them like a grocery list. You did not feel them. Hill was clear. Autosuggestion without emotion is powerless. The subconscious responds to emotional intensity, not intellectual agreement. If you repeat, "I am wealthy," while feeling broke, the subconscious registers the feeling, not the words. The feeling is the instruction. So when you speak your creed, you must generate the emotion of already having it. You must feel the relief. You must feel the victory. You must feel the gratitude. That emotion is what forces the command through the barrier and into the subconscious programming center. Second objection: what if the doubt returns? It will. Doubt is not the enemy. Doubt is the echo of the old program trying to survive. When doubt whispers, do not fight it. Do not argue with it. Simply override it. State aloud, veto. The command stands. I have issued the decree. The doubt is an echo. The command is the law. You are not trying to eliminate doubt. You are choosing to obey the command instead of the doubt. Every time doubt rises, you speak the creed again. You force the new instruction, and over time, the old program weakens. It loses power, it fades, and the new program becomes dominant. Third objection: what if I am the exception? What if this works for everyone else but not for me? That is the voice of the poverty program speaking. It is the final defense mechanism. It wants you to believe you are uniquely cursed, uniquely unworthy, uniquely forgotten by God. But the law does not have exceptions. Gravity works on everyone. Magnetism works on everyone. Autosuggestion works on everyone who uses it correctly. Hill studied over 500 people, rich and poor, educated and uneducated, connected and unknown. Every single one who applied the law with definiteness, faith, and autosuggestion broke through. Not some, all. You are not the exception. You are simply the one who has not yet applied the full law, and that changes right now. Here is your practical command. When doubt whispers, you will not collapse. You will not spiral. You will not rehearse the old story. You will do one thing. You will speak aloud, veto. The divine veto stands. My breakthrough is commanded. The wave is in motion. And then you will return to your creed. You will repeat it with emotion until the doubt dissolves. This is the discipline. This is the warfare. This is how you enforce the new reality until the physical evidence arrives to confirm it. Now we move to the activation key. This is the ritual pratico, the 7-day breakthrough activation. Everything you have learned until this moment is theory until you apply it. The 3 commands are useless unless you execute them with discipline. Hill demanded this. He did not write Think and Grow Rich as a book to read and admire. He wrote it as a manual to execute, and the execution requires a daily ritual. For the next 7 days, you will perform the breakthrough activation. This is not optional. This is not something you do when you feel inspired. This is the mechanism that locks in the divine contract and forces the manifestation within 1 week. Here is the exact structure. Every night, 10 minutes before sleep, you will isolate yourself. No distractions, no phone, no television, no interruptions. You will create a space of absolute focus because the moments before sleep are when the subconscious is most receptive. Step 1. You will read your creed from Part 1 aloud 3 times. Your creed is the exact target and the exact deadline. I command $10,000 by November 30th. It is divinely ordained. It is already done. You read it slowly. You read it with authority. You read it until you feel the declaration land in your chest. Step 2. You will activate faith as the currency. You will generate the emotion of already having it. Close your eyes. Feel the relief of the debt being gone. Feel the peace of the pressure lifting. Feel the gratitude of the door opening. Feel the certainty of the promise fulfilled. Do not visualize the money. Visualize the result of the money, the freedom, the stability, the ability to breathe without panic. That emotion is the advance payment. You are paying with faith before the evidence arrives. Hold that emotion for 5 full minutes. If your mind wanders, bring it back. If doubt rises, override it with the creed. This is the work. This is the discipline. Step 3, 5 minutes of silence and visualization. You will visualize the miracle wave crashing. You will see the poverty dissolving. You will see the door opening. You will see yourself walking through it as someone who has already received. Do not hope, do not beg. Simply see it as done. The subconscious does not distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you see it with emotion, the subconscious accepts it as fact and begins to create the path to make it real. Step 4. Upon waking, before your feet hit the floor, before you check your phone, before you speak to anyone, you will say aloud, "It is done. The command stands. The wave is crashing. My breakthrough is manifesting today." You speak this as the first words of your day. You are setting the tone. You are activating the program. You are telling the subconscious, today is the day the invisible becomes visible. Do this for 7 consecutive days. No skipping, no excuses. If you miss a day, you start over. The rhythm matters. The consistency is the voltage that powers the entire mechanism. Here is the key performance indicator: 100% completion, 7 days, 7 activations, no exceptions. On day 8, you will audit. You will look for the evidence. The evidence will not always be the full amount arriving in your account. The evidence will be the shift. A door you thought was closed suddenly reopening. A person you had not thought of in years reaching out with an opportunity. An idea that strikes you in the shower that you know is the path. A sudden peace that was not there before. These are the signs that the wave is in motion. These are the confirmations that the subconscious has accepted the command and is now orchestrating the manifestation. Hill called this the mystery of the subconscious. You do not always see the machinery. You only see the result. But if you perform the ritual with precision, the result is guaranteed, not because you earned it, not because you were perfect, but because you aligned with the law. And the law does not fail. The law is mechanical. The law responds to obedience, not emotion. You obey the ritual. The ritual activates the law. The law forces the breakthrough. It is that simple, and it is that absolute. This is your duty. This is the mechanism. This ritual is the physical action that proves to God you are serious about receiving the forced breakthrough. It is not enough to listen. It is not enough to agree. You must execute. You must prove through daily discipline that you are willing to do what it takes to receive what has already been commanded. The miracle wave is not waiting for you to feel ready. It is waiting for you to obey. And the moment you obey, the wave crashes. The poverty is smashed. The breakthrough is forced. And your life is never the same. Discipline is the activation key. Consistency is the voltage. Emotion is the trigger. And 7 days is the timeline. Do not negotiate with the timeline. Do not modify the structure. Execute it exactly as written, because every detail matters. The time before sleep, the repetition of the creed, the generation of emotion, the visualization, the morning declaration. These are not suggestions. They are the precise sequence that forces the subconscious to surrender and accept the new program. And once it accepts, the miracle wave is unleashed with full, unhindered force. The command of autosuggestion is complete. The ritual is given. The activation key is in your hand. Now we move to the final section, the closing of the contract, the sealing of the decree, the identity shift that makes the breakthrough permanent. You are no longer the one who waits. You are the one who commands. And the universe has no choice but to respond. The veto is final. The command has been issued. The 3 laws are activated. You have set the unbreakable target with absolute precision. You have named the exact amount. You have chosen the non-negotiable deadline. You have written it where you can see it every morning when you wake and every night before you sleep. You have paid the advance with the currency of faith. You have generated the emotion of already having it. You have felt the relief, the victory, the gratitude before the evidence arrived. You have reprogrammed the bridge with autosuggestion. You have repeated the creed with emotion until the subconscious surrendered and accepted the new command as law. The machinery is in motion. The circuits are closed. The decree is sealed. The miracle wave is no longer forming in the distance, no longer gathering force in some far-off invisible realm. It is crashing right now, in this moment. In the invisible realm, the breakthrough has already occurred. The poverty has already been smashed. The decree has already been signed by the highest authority in existence. The door has already been opened. The provision has already been released. And now, all that remains is for you to step into the new identity that makes the manifestation permanent. You are no longer the one who waits. Let that truth settle into your bones. Let it reorganize your nervous system. Let it rewrite the story you have been telling yourself for decades. You are no longer the person who sits on the sidelines hoping God remembers your name. You are no longer the one who prays and then doubts, who declares and then retreats, who commands and then apologizes for having the audacity to speak with authority. You are no longer the victim of circumstance, the casualty of bad timing, the forgotten one standing outside the door while everyone else gets blessed. That version of you died the moment you set the target. That version of you was buried the moment you activated faith. That version of you was erased the moment you reprogrammed the subconscious bridge. You are now the one who commands. You are now the one who receives. You are now the evidence of the miracle wave in physical form. This is not motivational language. This is not hype. This is identity language. And identity determines destiny. Hill understood this at the deepest level. He saw it in every single person he studied. The people who broke through poverty into wealth did not just change their actions. They did not just work harder or think more positively. They changed their identity first. They stopped seeing themselves as victims of circumstance and began seeing themselves as commanders of reality. They stopped asking permission from the universe and started issuing decrees. They stopped waiting for external validation and started validating themselves through obedience to the law. And the moment their identity shifted, everything shifted. Opportunities that were invisible suddenly became visible. Doors that were locked suddenly swung open. People who had ignored them suddenly sought them out. Money that had avoided them suddenly found them. This was not luck. This was not coincidence. This was the law, responding to the new identity. The universe does not respond to your circumstances. It does not respond to your resume. It does not respond to your bank account balance. It responds to your identity. And your identity is no longer shaped by your past. It is shaped by the command you have issued and the obedience you have demonstrated. So here is your new identity. Speak this aloud, right now. Do not read it silently in your mind where it has no power. Do not whisper it. Do not mumble it. Speak it with the full force of your voice, because your voice is the voice of God when it aligns with divine law. Your voice carries authority when it speaks in agreement with the veto that has been issued over your poverty. I am the one who commands. I am the one chosen for overflow. I am the evidence of the miracle wave. My breakthrough is not coming. My breakthrough is here. The poverty is smashed. The door is open. The wealth is released. I do not beg. I do not wait. I do not hope. I command, and the universe obeys. This is my identity. This is my truth. This is my decree, and it is done. Feel that shift. Feel the power of those words reorganizing your nervous system. Feel the old identity loosening its grip. Feel the weight of years of defeat, years of disappointment, years of delay falling off your shoulders like chains that were never meant to be there. Feel the new identity taking root in your chest, in your mind, in your voice. This is not affirmation. This is activation. You are activating the identity that forces the physical realm to conform to the spiritual decree. And once this identity is activated, it cannot be reversed unless you choose to abandon it. The miracle wave does not crash on people who see themselves as victims. It does not land on people who see themselves as forgotten. It crashes on people who see themselves as commanders. And you are now a commander. But identity without action is theory. Identity without proof is fantasy. Identity must be demonstrated. It must be tested. It must be proven through obedience. And so, you have a 24-hour assignment. This is not optional. This is not something you do if you feel like it. This is the final test that seals the contract and proves to the spiritual realm that you are serious. For the next 24 hours, every single time you see water, you will speak a command aloud. Every time you see a glass of water on your desk, a sink in the bathroom, a fountain in the park, rain falling from the sky, a river, an ocean, a puddle on the street, you will stop for 3 seconds and say aloud, "The miracle wave is moving for me. The poverty is smashed. The breakthrough is manifesting now." You will say this regardless of who is around you. You will say this regardless of how foolish it feels. You will say this regardless of whether people stare at you or question your sanity. You will say this because water is the symbol of the wave, and every time you see it, you are reminded that the wave is in motion. This is sensory anchoring. This is physical obedience. This is the proof that you are not just listening to a message. You are living the command. Why 24 hours? Because within 24 hours, the subconscious will register the pattern. It will understand that you are serious. It will see that you are not playing games, not treating this as entertainment, not filing this away as another inspiring idea you will forget by tomorrow morning. The subconscious learns through repetition and consistency. And when it sees you obeying the same command over and over again in the physical realm, regardless of circumstances, regardless of comfort, regardless of who is watching, it accepts that command as absolute law. The 24-hour window is the activation period. It is the moment when theory becomes practice, when declaration becomes evidence, when faith becomes sight. And if you complete this assignment with precision, if you obey it fully without skipping a single instance, you will notice something shift. You will feel the pressure lift. You will sense the door beginning to open. You will experience a sudden peace that was not there this morning. These are the signs that the miracle wave has fully locked onto your life and is now manifesting in the physical realm. And now, the commandment verse. This is the sealing word. This is the scripture that locks the entire divine contract into place. This is the verse that proves everything Hill taught aligns with the Word of God. This is the verse that confirms the law is not New Age philosophy. It is divine truth encoded in Scripture thousands of years before Hill was born. Write this down. Memorize it. Speak it every morning for the next 7 days as part of your ritual. Mark chapter 11, verse 24. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Read that again, slowly. Let every word land. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. This is not a suggestion. This is not a metaphor. This is a law. Believe that you have received it. Not that you will receive it someday when you are more worthy, when the timing is better, when the conditions align. Believe that you have received it, present tense, already done, already deposited, already released. The moment you believe you have received, the subconscious accepts it as fact and begins to manifest the evidence. This is the autosuggestion principle encoded in Scripture. This is the divine confirmation that everything Hill taught aligns with the Word of God. And this is the verse that seals your breakthrough. Speak this verse aloud 3 times right now. Do not read it silently. Speak it. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Say it again. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. One more time. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Feel the authority of those words. Feel the finality of that decree. Feel the certainty that this is not wishful thinking. This is divine law. You have asked, you have set the target. You have believed, you have activated faith as the currency. You have received. The transaction is complete in the invisible, and now the manifestation is inevitable. The commandment verse is the key that locks the circuit, and the circuit is now closed, the breakthrough is sealed, the wave is crashing, and you are standing in the overflow. Now we move to the final command, the social contract, the public sealing of the decree. You did not arrive at this message by accident. You were not scrolling randomly and stumbled upon this video. You were guided here by divine orchestration. The algorithm did not bring you here. God brought you here. And now that you have received the command, you have a responsibility. You must seal this contract publicly. You must declare your obedience where others can witness it. Why? Because public declaration creates accountability. It activates the law of witness. It tells the spiritual realm that you are not hiding, not hedging, not keeping one foot in the old life while testing the new one with the other foot. You are all in. And the moment you go all in, the full force of the miracle wave is released. Here is what you will do. First, you will subscribe to this channel and activate all notifications. This is not about helping the algorithm. This is not about supporting a content creator. This is about alignment. By subscribing, you are signaling to the universe that you are committed to receiving the next command, the next activation, the next level of breakthrough. You are telling God, I am not a casual listener. I am not someone who consumes inspiration and then does nothing. I am a serious student of the law. I am ready to obey. I am ready to execute. And I am ready for everything that is coming. Subscription is a declaration of serious intent. It is a spiritual act, not just a digital one. Do it now. Second, you will share this message with 3 people who need the veto. Not 100 people, not your entire contact list. 3 specific people who are trapped in the same poverty you were trapped in before you heard this command. 3 people who are praying for breakthrough but do not know the mechanism. 3 people who need to hear that the divine veto has been issued and the miracle wave is available to anyone who obeys the law. When you share this message, you become a messenger, and messengers are rewarded. The law says, freely you have received, freely give. You have received the command without charge, now give it to 3 people without charge. And when you do, the universe takes note. You are marked. As someone who does not hoard revelation, you are marked as someone who multiplies breakthrough. and the multiplication principle activates in your life. What you give, you receive, multiplied. Share the message with 3 people. Do it within 24 hours. Do not delay. Third, you will comment below with your decree. You will write the exact amount you are commanding and the exact deadline. You will write, I command amount by date. It is done. Do not write, I hope. Do not write, I pray. Write, I command. This public declaration activates the law of witness. It creates a record in the spiritual realm. It tells God, I am not playing. I am serious. I have set the target. I have paid with faith. I have reprogrammed the bridge, and I am now publicly declaring my obedience for the entire world to see. When you do this, you will feel something shift. You will feel the weight of the old life lifting. You will feel the authority of the new identity settling, and you will know, beyond any doubt, that the breakthrough is no longer theoretical. It is real. It is moving. And it is landing in your life within 7 days. These 3 actions, subscribe, share, comment, are not suggestions. They are the final commands that seal the contract. If you skip them, you leave the circuit open. The wave will form, but it will not crash. The breakthrough will be authorized, but it will not land. Do not skip these steps. Execute them with precision. Execute them with urgency. The divine veto has just been issued against your financial struggle. Visualize the chains of debt and delay shattering violently at your feet. You have felt trapped, praying for relief while the pressure only mounted. But that era is over. A miracle wave has been commanded by the highest authority to smash the very concept of poverty in your life. This is the ultimate secret Napoleon Hill discovered. When the conditions are met, the breakthrough is not just possible, it is forced. Your ordained breakthrough is imminent. Execute them within 24 hours, because every moment you delay is a moment the old identity whispers doubt back into your mind. Execute now. Seal the contract now, and lock in the breakthrough now. And here is the final image. Close your eyes one last time. See yourself standing on the shore. The sky is clearing. The wind is shifting. And in the distance, you hear it, the sound of the wave. Not a whisper, not a hope, a roar. The miracle wave is crashing. You feel the ground shake beneath your feet. You feel the spray of water on your face. And then it hits. The full force of the wave crashes over you, through you, around you. And when the water recedes, when the roar fades, when the mist clears, you look down, and where there was once sand, there is now gold. Everywhere you look, there is evidence of the breakthrough. The debt is gone. The pressure is lifted. The door is open. The opportunity has arrived. The peace has returned. You are no longer the person you were when you started this message. You are the person you were always meant to be, the person who commands and receives, the person who speaks and the universe obeys, the person who was chosen for overflow before the foundation of the world. This is not fantasy. This is prophecy. And prophecy does not fail when it is spoken by the one who issued the veto. The verdict has been given. The blessing is already in motion. The miracle wave is not coming. It is here. And you are standing in the center of it. The command is issued. The obedience is proven. The breakthrough is forced. And your old life is over. You are no longer the one who waits. You are the one who commands. The unbreakable target is set. The spiritual currency is paid. The bridge is forced. The identity is activated. The 24-hour assignment is clear. The commandment verse is sealed. The social contract is issued, and the manifestation is inevitable. Walk forward now as someone who has already received. Speak as someone who has already been delivered. Move as someone who has already broken through. Because in the realm where it matters most, you have. The invisible has already shifted. The decree has already been signed. The provision has already been released. And now the physical is catching up. Within 7 days, you will see the evidence. A door will open that was locked yesterday. An idea will strike that was hidden last week. A person will reach out who ignored you last month. A peace will settle that has been absent for years. and you will know, without question, that the miracle wave was real, that the divine veto was final, that the command was law, and that you are now living in the overflow. Do not look back. Do not second guess. Do not allow the old identity to whisper doubt into your mind in the middle of the night when you are tired and vulnerable. You have been given the law. You have been shown the mechanism. You have been equipped with the tools. You have been activated with the identity. You have been sealed with the commandment verse. There is nothing left to do but obey. Execute the ritual for 7 days. Complete the 24-hour assignment. Share the message with 3 people. Comment your decree. And watch as the miracle wave tears through every barrier that has ever held you back and deposits you in a reality you could not have engineered on your own. This is the final word. The command stands. The veto is irreversible. The wave is crashing. And you are the evidence. Go now. Execute. Obey. Receive. And when the manifestation arrives, when the breakthrough lands, when the overflow begins, you will remember this moment, you will remember the message, you will remember the decision, and you will know that this was the turning point. This was the moment everything changed. Not because you got lucky, not because you deserved it more than anyone else, but because you aligned with the law, obeyed the command, and forced the breakthrough from the spiritual realm into your physical reality. The miracle wave has been commanded to smash poverty and force your breakthrough, and it is done. It is finished. It is sealed. Walk in it, live in it, command in it, and never go back to the shore you came from. The old life is over. The new life has begun. The poverty is smashed. The door is open. The wealth is released. And the universe has no choice but to respond to the one who commands. That is you, and it is done.